teachers on residential training retreats when I lived in the UK. And now I live over here and happily step in whenever Vidyamala needs a break or requires, what do you call it? A stand-in. Here I am. Okay, so just time to begin now. We're here for the space to breathe, and Vidyamala usually runs this session. And as I just said, she's away at the moment, so I'm stepping in for the next half an hour. And I'd warmly welcome you wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is where you are, or whatever season it is that you're experiencing. Welcome. We're going to be doing mostly meditation. I've got my favorite book of poems and blessings from John O'Donoghue. So I'm going to be reading a couple of those, one at the beginning and one at the end. And then mostly meditating, probably with minimal guidance. Can I just check before I begin, though, if someone would give me a little wave? Is there anyone who's kind of new to this and would consider themselves a beginner meditator? Julie, I see you. Okay, then I will give a bit more guidance, because beginner meditators generally, a 30-minute silence would be weird. So for those of you who are really experienced, be aware that in our community, new people join us regularly. And it's good to cultivate that beginner's mind, to treat this guided practice as if it's the first time you've had guided practice, and just see where it takes you when you allow yourself to listen to the guidance, or to follow the invitation, to take the invitation to do whatever the guidance suggests. And if it's something that you'd rather not do, that's fine. You just meditate away, and you can mute me, perhaps. All right. And as I just said a little while ago, for anybody who's just arrived, if you need to change your posture, if you need to take care of your body's comfort by standing, or moving from the chair to lying supine somewhere, I'd really encourage you to do that. 30 minutes is a long time to sit. So if it becomes uncomfortable for you, and you need to start rolling your shoulders, or stretching, or lying down, whatever it might be, turning onto your side if you're already lying down, then please do that. Take care of yourself, and think of it as doing yourself a kindness. And my other invitation to any of the people who are wearing glasses, I wonder, would you be willing to try taking off your glasses and setting them down somewhere to the side? Most people are going to have their eyes closed. You're not going to miss anything. And just allow yourself to have your eyes closed, with none of the pressure on the bridge of your nose or at the sides of your face that there might be if you're wearing spectacles. If you'd rather keep your eyes open and keep your glasses on, you can do that as well. But the eyes can be that sense that allow a kind of a gateway of distraction to enter into our consciousness. So choose a spot somewhere, just in front of you or above you if you're very sleepy, or down in front of your knees, and just let your gaze rest there unfocused. All right. And then we'll begin. I'm going to sound this singing bowl once, and I hope that you can hear it. And if you're happy to, you can close your eyes now. If you can't hear it, that bowl is making a melodious, harmonious sound now, fading off into the distance. And I'd invite you to allow yourself to just feel the contact points, where your body is being supported through your feet, under your body, through the seat of the chair or the mattress. This blessing is called for one who is exhausted. When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in. It falls in on the soul like an endless, increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in your stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging inside down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back to life. You have been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest and patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken in the race of days. At first, your thinking will darken and sadness will take over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have traveled too far, too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to the small miracles that you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of colour that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells deep within slow time. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Allow those words to fall away into your memory, and maybe instead just notice your breath as it flows in and out of your body, wherever that can be felt. You might feel it in your nostrils or through your mouth, down your airways, causing your chest to rise and fall. You might feel your belly swelling and subsiding on the in and the out breath. You don't need to change your breath at all. You're just observing the breath as the body breathes itself. And continue to do that for a little while. If you're someone that doesn't work for at all, if it makes you anxious to turn your attention to your breath, maybe instead just listen to the sounds in your soundscape for a little while. We're allowing ourselves to come into being mode, to be in our senses. The sense of touch or pressure, where gravity is pulling us close to the earth. The sense of sound that we might be able to hear outside us in the distance, nearby, or even inside ourselves. If you find your mind is very busy, if it's taking a while for that mental jet to come into land, allow yourself to heave a big, heavy sigh. As you do that, let your body relax, let go of tension. Wherever you normally hold tension, in your shoulders or your jaw, in your tongue or your forehead, in your hands or your legs. In the beginning of any practice, it's helpful to just notice, is there any pain or discomfort anywhere? Physical, mental, emotional, whatever the pain might be that you're experiencing. Just noticing. It might be something that's constant for you or feels constant. It might be something that's arrived today or recently. It might be triggered by something that happened earlier. Just allow yourself to turn your attention towards that gently and kindly, in the same way that you would towards a beloved pet or a beloved child or friend. What's that? What's going on? Might be helpful to place your hand over your heart and just kindly wait for a moment. See what arrives in your awareness. Maybe there's a heaviness or a fatigue. Maybe there's a headache or there's a tinnitus, a loud, intrusive sound or feeling. And that might be something that's deeply unpleasant. Our tendency usually might be to push that away, to wish it was elsewhere. And yet here it is, part of us, part of this moment, like one facet of a diamond. We can just turn towards it a little bit. Breathe into it slightly. Imagine that your breath is flowing there as you breathe in and out. Imagine that some current of that breath is flowing gently towards whatever that discovery is, that discomfort, that pain, that thought, that emotion. If your hand gets tired there on your chest, let it rest softly on your lap or on your belly. Perhaps there's nothing we can do about that except to accept it. Stop fighting with it. Stop resisting it, but to just allow it to be where it is. If it can be felt in the clenching of your jaws, maybe just waggling your lower jaw and letting your jaws be a little apart. If it can be felt in the frowning of your forehead, maybe just raising your eyebrows up towards the hairline and softly letting go of any expression on your face. If it can be felt in the clenching of the hands or the sucking in of the gut or tightness around a group of muscles, can we soften those muscles a little bit? Can we let go of any effort wherever it might be? Instead, imagining, seeing perhaps in your mind's eye this air that we've inhaled. It's been converted into oxygen in the lungs, carried to the heart, to be pumped all over the body. We can imagine that breath flowing wherever it needs to go, bringing warmth, oxygen, flushing away any waste in the cells. If there's somewhere you can place a hand, wherever there's pain, your forehead, your shoulder, if it's comfortable, just feeling that soft connection, that gentle, consoling touch. Here I am, just like so many other people, a human being suffering. So common, it seems to be part of the human condition. At some point, we all experience something difficult. Maybe brief or permanent. And it can come to occupy all of our thinking, to preoccupy us, to take up space in our experience and prevent us from noticing other aspects of our experience. But we are the ultimate meditation app. We have this breath, and we can just notice the breath flowing in and out. Each breath, a new breath. If your mind intrudes or wanders, that's okay. That's just the mind doing what the mind does, like a puppy or a child eager for attention. We're just working with the mind, training it to stay here, to stay now in this moment, this ever changing, infinitely moving moment. And if you notice, if you're sitting or kneeling that your posture has begun to crumple, or some habitual tension has begun to tighten up again. If your mind has begun to wander, noticing that those are moments of mindfulness. And you can just really deliberately choose to lengthen your spine, letting it be nice and long. Let your head be poised, balanced on the column of your neck. Let your hands be soft wherever is comfortable. Let your belly softly rise and fall on the in and the out breath. Just letting sounds and thoughts, any feelings that arise, let them come and go. I wonder, is there anything pleasant in your experience in this moment? Maybe you can feel sunlight brightly illuminating you wherever you are, warming you. Maybe that's pleasant. Maybe the surface you're resting on is just right, not too hard, not too soft, just right. Maybe there are lovely perfumes from the garden wafting in on the breeze through the window, or beautiful sounds of chimes ringing in the breeze outside, musically harmonizing with the moment. Maybe you like my accent or being part of this group meditating together. Maybe just this silence. Maybe this instant is the present you're giving yourself. Maybe some little memory of some kindness you gave or received today has warmed your heart and continues to provide a little glow somewhere inside. Is that pleasant? And whatever it might be, it could be so fleeting. A cloud can pass in front of the sun. A discomfort can return. A disturbing, discordant sound can appear. Maybe we can just notice that as being part of this moment also. Perhaps both can coexist in this moment simultaneously. Something pleasant and something less pleasant, something difficult. If this is difficult to find the pleasant, maybe we're making it too difficult. Maybe it can just be the texture of the clothes touching your skin somewhere that's pleasant. The soft breeze across your skin. The smell of food. The sound of laughter. A bird singing. Just being here now, alive, in a peaceful country. Maybe we can build up to the pleasant by cultivating gratitude. We're here. And if your mind begins to wander, if you begin to feel a bit restless or agitated, that's being human. That's okay. Just noticing that and choosing, how will I respond to this urge to scratch my nose or give up? Can I stay with that urge and notice, does it fade away or become more urgent? Do I have to scratch my nose? And if you do, scratch your nose. And then start again, feeling your feet wherever they are, noticing the contact points of the body on whatever surface it's resting on, the different textures, where you can feel those pressure points through your heels, perhaps, or your buttocks, through your sitting bones, or along your spine. Maybe just this doing nothing is pleasant. We're going to begin to bring this practice to a close. So keep your eyes closed just for a little while yet. By all means, you can continue to meditate yourself wherever you are. Just as I end my part, another blessing from John O'Donohue called At the End of the Day, a Mirror of Questions. What dreams did I create last night? Where did my eyes linger today? Where was I blind? Where was I hurt without anyone noticing? What did I learn today? What did I read? What new thoughts visited me? What differences did I notice in those closest to me? Who did I neglect? Where did I neglect myself? What did I begin today that might endure? How were my conversations? What did I do today for the poor and the excluded? Did I remember the dead today? Where could I have exposed myself to the risk of something different? Where did I allow myself to receive love? With whom today did I feel most myself? What reached me today? How deep did it imprint? Who saw me today? What visitations had I from the past and from the future? What did I avoid today? From the evidence, why was I given today? So just beginning to move a little bit, move this body that's been still for 25 minutes or so, maybe gently moving your fingers or turning your hands in little circles at the wrists, wriggling your toes, lifting your heels up and down, or turning your feet in small circles at the ankles. Rolling your shoulders softly in one direction or another, maybe having a stretch. When you're ready, opening your eyes and just coming back into the evening. You might need to give yourself another drink of water. Or after sitting or lying for a little while, you might need to move. And if there's anything that you noticed, any little thought, little insight that arrived during that meditation, you might want to make a note of it somewhere. If there was some little moment of relief, just noticing that that was connected to this practice, to focusing on your senses or on the breath. And maybe setting the intention to do that again tomorrow, once or twice. If not for half an hour, then just for a minute or two. And making that part of your routine, like brushing your teeth. Not dental hygiene, but mental hygiene. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us today. Normal service. We'll be back next week. Vidyamala will be back. Thanks so much for being part of this community. It's really, really appreciated. It's lovely to have you all here. And remember as well, if you can ever make a donation towards the Breathworks fund, that'll be much appreciated. It allows us to keep running these events and support people who can't afford to do trainings to come on the trainings. You're very, very welcome. Take care of yourselves. It's been really lovely to see you all, familiar faces and new faces. Enjoy the rest of your evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And most importantly of all, be kind to yourselves. All the best. Bye.
Bye, Karen.
See you. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.
So much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Lovely, Karen.
Bye-bye.